And good morning, fellow ticket holders, and welcome to our first video of 2024.
We look so spooky, so spooky.
It is an early morning today. We are currently in Wilmington, Delaware, and that's because we are getting ready to catch the Amtrak train into New York City. Interesting enough is we started last year's videos in New York. We were on Long Island, so we are going to head into New York City today, and that is because yesterday was my birthday. And so we're going to do a birthday trip into the city. It is kind of going to be train themed by starting with Amtrak. And today we're going to go to the New York Transit Museum about the trains and the buses and everything. So come along with us as we go into New York City. Up to track number 2. And we have made it to New York City to the Moyniham train station. This is the new station that was built right next to Penn Station. But first, we have to go over here and get some coffee from Maman. And the Maman coffee has been acquired. Look at the cute hearts on top. And for our food choice this morning for breakfast, we're headed right over here to the Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee Company. Today's sandwich choice is a bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel with a scallion bacon schmear. Okay, so we just finished up breakfast here at the Brooklyn Bagel, and that was fantastic.
Always good. This is our second time coming, well,
Yeah.
my third coming, and it's so good.
Yep, nice toasted bagel, nice fried egg, cheese, the scallion smear, crispy bacon, oh, so good.
So good.
All right, so we're gonna now catch the subway downtown to go to the Transit Museum. And here we are at the New York Transit Museum, and to enter, we're going to go down into this old subway station stairway. Rapid population growth and increasing traffic congestion in New York City led to the need for an efficient mass transit system. In the late 19th century to the early 20th century, engineers and planners began developing proposals for an underground subway system. Known as one of the world's largest and oldest rapid transportation systems, the New York City subway system began construction in 1900. The subway's underground tunnels were constructed using a method called cut and cover, which involved digging trenches, building the tunnel structure, and then covering it up. Later expansions used tunnel boring machines for a more efficient excavation. Power machines assisted the workers. The most important mechanical helpers were the steam-powered cranes and cable skyways that hauled away giant buckets of excavated dirt and rock. When it came to tunneling underwater, crews of workers called sand hogs worked in the most dangerous conditions. With the combined dangers of deep rock mining, a chance of drowning in a flooded tunnel, the sand hogs were well respected. Featuring architectural designs that reflected the aesthetics of the time, skilled artisans moved into the new stations to install the beautiful finishes for which the subways would become known. And now that we have gone through the history of building the subway, we are in the more interactive and historical items left over from the subway. And we're going to start out here with the turnstiles and ticketing systems. And first up, we have what's called a ticket chopper from the 1920s. I guess you drop your ticket in, pull the lever, and it would chop your ticket up, making it used. And next to the ticket chopper, we have an early 1900s turnstile turner called the windmill, because it looks like a windmill. In 1922, they added these electric turnstiles, and we can actually go through this one. And here's another one from 1940s. Drop your little coin in here, and you come through the turnstile. In 1945, they added what's called the Iron Maiden, named after the torture device, or also known as the circular turnstile that we all know and like to go round and round in circles. They still have this type today in some places, just a little more modern now. In 1946, they installed some of these round-end compact model 97. Again, drop your token in, and you go through. Very similar to what we know of a turnstile today. And here's another one from the 1968. A little bit of different design, but still the same concept that we know today. And in 1980, we have the Duncan turnstile, a little more square and chunky, but still put in your token and go through. Right here is what they still use today from 1992. Normal turnstile with the car swipe now and directional. Finally, talking about turnstiles, they are coming out with new ones. They are slowly rolling them out where it's going to have tap-based payment and tap-based cards. So the sliding metric card will be a thing of the past. On this wall right here, we have the different tokens, seeing as the subways used to use tokens. We have from 1928 through the 70s, through the 80s, all the way down to 1997. In 1995, the fare increased to $1.50, this one says. And because people would want to not pay the fare, there was things made called slugs that would go in and confuse the machines, thinking it was a token, and they would have a free fare. Right here we have what's a replica of a ticket booth with all the different tokens behind it. So not only does this museum talk about trains and subways, they also talk about the buses. So here we have different fare boxes, an 1883 wooden box, a 1920 cranker box, a 1925 modern fare box, the Robbie the Robot Electro-Fare fare box, and the 1996 Metro Card fare box. So this next section is called Reign of the Redbirds. And the gist of this section is basically from the 1960s to the early 2000s, it was the height of getting new trains. They were lighter, longer, held more passengers, and they were called the Redbirds because of their initial red color, like you see right there. As they went along throughout the decades, they got more trains in different colors. There's a blue one there. Apparently we can see it downstairs in the galleries. We'll see that soon. And a bunch of other things going on. Like this right here. This is the master controller. It's an electrified device located at the front of the train that the train operator uses to regulate the direction and the speed. This wall over here talks about the 70s, a bad time for the trains where they had issues with grime and dirt and tagging of the trains. So in the 1980s, they did their best to clean everything up. And as I mentioned, the Redbirds, which eventually became blue apparently, were retired in the early 2000s. And we can see here down at the end, they basically put them on a barge and took them out to sea. And they didn't just dump them to get rid of them because they had nowhere to go. They used it to create artificial reefs for fish and whatnot off of the coast. But let us continue on to the next exhibit, and we'll do so through the train here. So through the kitty cat train, we have what's called Pure Vision Arts. A one-of-a-kind Pure Vision Art Studio is Manhattan's premier art studio for artists with autism. And as we exit out of the art exhibition, we have what's going to be about trolleys and buses, the stuff on the streets. And the cutest part of this area are all the bus facades where kids can act like they are driving the buses. And finally, in the back section of this area, there's a big selection of signs. And the final section to the museum is downstairs on the platforms. This will be able to see some of the old subway trains. And right off the bat here, we can see what was called the Bluebird when they repainted the Redbirds. Redbird's right behind this. This is a really pretty subway train. Let's go inside. Wow, this is really cool.
Where are we going today?
It says Main Street, Flushing, and Times Square. And just like what I said, here is what was the Redbirds, the red trains that they threw some into the river. Looks very similar to the Bluebirds inside, because again, they just repainted them. So this next one here behind the Redbird is called an R12 from 1948. And what I noticed inside is it looked like there's that train that we saw at Kawaguchiko in Japan, where it has the straw seats and the heaters underneath. They did have the fans up top. Definitely a similar feel and design to that one that we saw in Kawaguchiko. And this next one here is from the 1950s. Again, pretty similar, but the heater down below. But this now has vinyl seating. But up top here is about the same. Looks like you might have at least big fans, if not central air, compared to the other one. But we can go on and on and on. They have so many different train cars of different eras down through here. We'll see if we can pick out a few more before we leave. And finally, down here on the end of the platform, we have a replica of a signal tower, and it has some of the electronics. You got the board up there with the lights of where the trains would be. And this is a replica of something like this, a tower. And that will conclude our time here at the New York Transit Museum. Just like on the train, we leave through a turnstile. We are back street side and headed back to the subway to head towards lunch. And for lunch today, we are headed here to Okiboru House of Tsukemen ramen. It's a special dipping type of ramen. Let's go inside and check it out. Consisting of cold thick noodles, pork, scallions, lime, nori, naruto, bamboo shoots, and a marinated soft boiled egg, this bowl looks delicious. And being a dipping style ramen, it comes with a rich chicken and fish broth on the side. And as we finish up our evening, we have a couple more stops to make. And the first stop will be here at Levain's Bakery in NoHo. And now it's time to catch our next train, the 6th train towards downtown. So Levain's was the take home, but for dessert or a snack, we go right here to this Japanese bakery called Takahashi. Apparently make things Japanese style. Trying to get some melon pan and whatnot. So let's check out this bakery. So it looks like I have some danishes and some cheese and egg pastries and croissants and some shiro, whatever that is, choco moon. But oh no, they don't have any melon pan. Just have to figure something else out. So we decided to try the kurumi shiro. It is a soft pastry filled with white bean paste. And we got the choco moon, which is this moon-shaped pastry that is filled with chocolate sugar. And to drink 2 hochicha teas. And we have made it to our accommodations for the night, the Hilton Garden Inn in Tribeca. But before we check in, there's one more site that we're gonna see. And that one place is here at the Ghostbusters firehouse, firehouse number 8. This is just for the exterior shots. The interior shots were all done in a spot in California. So just right around the corner from the Hilton. All right, we're all checked in. The room looks great. Got my name there on the television. So we're just gonna sit here and relax a little bit. Then we'll head out a little later for dinner, and then we'll wrap up today after that. So we'll catch up with you in a little while when we head out to do something for dinner. Not sure what we're gonna do, but we'll figure that out. All right, so we're gonna head out and get some dinner. We have decided we're gonna get some pizza, but Vanessa can't decide where she wants to go. And so we are going to get sliced from 2 different places. Let's go check out a couple pizza places here in Tribeca. And here's the first one, right down from our hotel, called Il Matone. Go ahead and get a slice. And here's our double slice of pepperoni. Look really good. Lots of pepperoni. And here's the second place we're going to, Lucia's, which there's people in this one. So that could mean that it means it's a better place, but Lucia's Pizza of Soho. And it's Tony Danza approved. Here's the pizza from Lucia's. Looks really good. They put fresh basil on there. I do like the char on the crust on the top. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. Let's give this one a try. Okay, so we're back from having our pizza, and we'll go ahead and talk about that first, I guess. So they're both really good, actually.
Yeah, they were both really good.
The first place, really liked the thin, crispy crust that was really crackery. Had a nice flavor to the sauce, nice fresh cheese. The only complaints that we had was it needed to be a little bit warmer. He didn't leave it in the oven long enough to basically melt the cheese a little bit and to crisp the pepperoni.
Yeah, it was a slice place, so they were already made and you just go in, grab it, and they warm it up for you.
So overall, really excellent place. I can see why you said it was rated 2 on one of the websites.
Out of the 11 pizza places in the Tribeca area.
Yeah, really good. And then the second place we went to isn't really on those ratings, so that's why we wanted to check it out. Google gave it a high rating, 4.9 out of 5 with over 100 reviews, so that's why I wanted to try it.
I'm guessing it's new, but it was really good. And Tony Danza approved.
Yeah. Nice crackery crust. It had a nice sweet
It was a sweeter sauce, correct.
Couldn't really taste the cheese that much, but it was okay. Then that fresh basil on top was really good.
The presentation was really nice. They cut up some fresh basil and they put a little bit of mozzarella cheese sprinkled on top, or Parm cheese.
Yeah, so I really liked it. Definitely 2 great spots for pizza.
Yes.
Okay, as you see, we've moved. A little bit easier to do than to hold the phone. So let's go ahead and recap our day here in New York City. So I guess first of all, with the Amtrak, went pretty smooth. I really enjoyed that process of
just his first time.
Other than doing the auto train, but it was my first time coming to the city on the train, and I really liked the process of just driving to Wilmington and parking and getting on the train. Really smooth, really nice trek, really like that. We already talked about our breakfast bagel again. Thumbs up.
Always such a good place. It always hits the spot.
Love Brooklyn Bagel. And then we went to the Transit Museum, and that was really fun and much larger than we expected from videos we saw about it.
Yeah, you're gonna want to do at least 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, we were there for 3 hours.
There's a lot to read. If you just want to look around and see the pictures without reading, I'm gonna say an hour and a half.
No, I still think you need 2
hours.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, 2 hours.
But yeah, definitely loved it. The videos that we saw prior to coming didn't show all of it, so there's some things there that we were unaware of going to be there, like the little art gallery. That was really cool.
Really nice.
But it's always really neat to see the trains and the train exhibit.
Oh my gosh, and the whole process and the history of how New York got its
the subway.
Yeah.
Really liked that. So I hope you enjoyed that part of this video. That was the main reason for coming. Again, I wanted to do something special for my birthday that was just yesterday. And so I wanted to go to the museum. And then after the museum, we went and had lunch at a new ramen place for us here in the city. And it was called Okiboru House of Tsukemen. And the Tsukemen style is a
dipping ramen.
Yeah.
We had wanted to try this when we were in Japan, but we never got the chance to. And it's traditionally cold noodles with all the top. It's like a deconstructed ramen. The broth is off onto the side, and it is simmered for like 3 days. It depends, something like that. And it's really because of the coldness of the noodles, it will pick up the creaminess of the broth, and it's so cool. It's so delicious.
Really good, really flavorful,
really good,
very filling.
I don't know how people eat big.
Should have asked for it without the green onions.
Yeah,
the green onions are very overpowering, so that's one recommendation. And then we added the bamboo shoots and the egg, and that was definitely a good addition. Maybe not the bamboo shoots, but definitely
I love bamboo shoots.
But yeah, really enjoyed lunch as well. And then after lunch,
another fact of the noodles are house made using flour from a place in Japan. I forgot where in Japan, but they use flour from over there, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
And the waitresses were saying as people left, they were greeting in Japanese and saying goodbye in Japanese.
Then after lunch, we tried to go to a green matcha tea place, and it had a really long line.
It's the only place in the city that has house ceremonial made matcha from a tea master that came from Japan and has been living here in the States for a while now. So she does it, and her coworker, one drink at a time. So the line was really long time. I've been dying to try it though, because that's unfortunately another thing we didn't get to try in Japan, but next time.
But we wanted to make sure that we would be able to make it to the Japanese bread place, so we needed to get out of there so we didn't catch it, so that we could catch it before it closed.
Yeah, they closed early.
We're on the way. We stopped at Levain's, like I said.
Yep, you gotta
like I showed.
When in New York City,
Our
or
favorite
anywhere
cookies.
that has a Levain's, pick up some cookies.
Yeah, so Levain cookies.
Which also has a long line, but it goes by quick.
Yeah, because people just choose what kind of cookie they want, put it in a box. So got that, and then we went down to the bread place, and that was really good.
Yeah, Takamachi Bakery. The owner's also from Japan. She's been trained in France, but she came from Japan, and it was so good. We had 2 types of desserts, and they were really good.
Yep, so the chocolate one was kind of like a croissant. It was the moon, chocolate moon.
Yeah, it was called Choco Moon.
And it kind of reminded me of the sugar powder that's on top of Mexican conchas inside of the roll-up. So it was kind of a slight hint of chocolate.
And the bread was nice and fluffy.
And buttery.
It was so good.
And then the other one has the white bean paste and the walnuts, and then the buttery, flaky bread as well.
It was so good. I'm so glad we got to try it. We went there for melon pan, because they also do specialize.
Wish we would have had that, but again, can't really have things when they're starting to close.
Yeah, no. And we also had 2 hochicha teas, and it was so good.
That's our new favorite iced tea, or favorite tea in Japan.
Yeah.
And then again, we're back around to the pizza. So that's it for today.
Yeah, we had quite the adventure.
Yeah.
We were a little slow because it was cold, but
not as cold as it was supposed to be.
Yeah, so we were grateful.
So I'm glad that it warmed up. So hope you enjoyed seeing our adventures today, and we will catch you again in the morning.
Yeah. Bye.
And good morning, fellow ticket holders from Tribeca, New York City. We are leaving the Hilton Gardens this morning. It's a really nice place to stay. We are headed out to go get breakfast and then to catch the Amtrak train back to back to Wilmington. I don't know. All right, let's head this way to the subway. headed uptown on the 1-2 train. And here we are, we're gonna go to Daily Provisions for breakfast. So for breakfast, we got the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, one of our favorites. And it comes with the really good wake-up sauce. And we got the seasonal cruller, which is a passion fruit cruller with mango icing and has toasted coconut on top. All right, just finished up breakfast at Daily Provisions, and great as always.
Always one of our favorites. The cruller was very tropical.
Yeah.
It was like being at the beach for me. I think it's a cross between that one and the blueberry lemon during the summer that I really enjoy.
Yeah, and obviously the sandwich is really good with that Brookshire ham, bacon.
Yeah, bacon.
Really good, love that. All right, on to coffee. And for the coffee this morning, we are going to go here to the Coppola Cafe and have a latte. So as I usually do when I come to a new shop, I got a regular cafe latte, and Vanessa decided to get a caramel cafe latte. All right, pigeons, we're getting ready to head out. That was some excellent coffee at the Coppola, and we're gonna leave the city. So have a good day. Well, yeah, really good coffee there.
Good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I had a caramel latte.
Yeah, I just had mine regular, really good. But yeah, that's gonna be it. We're gonna head to the Penn Station and wait for our train on Amtrak.
Thanks for coming along with us.
So before we leave on the train today, we're gonna get one more snack. And we're gonna get the seasonal pudding here at Magnolia Bakery. The seasonal flavored banana pudding is chocolate covered strawberries. Man, you can see all the strawberries and chocolate in there. Looks really good. And just like that, we are back to Wilmington and the Wilmington train station. That will also conclude our video for this trip. So we hope you've enjoyed coming along with us as we went from Wilmington to New York and back in less than 24 hours. Yeah. Well, I guess a little more than 24 hours.
Yeah. Using Amtrak was, I've used it before. It was his first time.
Other than the auto train.
Oh, auto, yeah. Very fairly easy, as you saw. And
we still have to get out of this parking structure, which I'm sure it'll be fine. Just scan the QR code and get out. But worked really well to get into New York City for this trip. Just gotta catch Amtrak at a good price. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, you always want to book ahead, not last minute.
So again, hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, be safe, be kind, and adventure on.
Bye.
Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to our channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section below.